U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announced today that Tuesday will see the most intense day of strikes against Iran since the start of the military campaign 11 days ago. General Dan Kane, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, confirmed the ongoing operations from the Pentagon. According to Secretary Hegseth, Iran's missile and drone attacks have significantly decreased since the U.S. campaign began, with missile attacks down by 90% and drone attacks by 83%. The reduction in attacks is seen as evidence of the effectiveness of the U.S. military operations. That's despite the decrease in attacks. Secretary Hegseth warned that the U.S. remains vigilant and is prepared to take further actions if necessary. The military has not yet been asked to escort tankers through the Strait of Hormuz. However, options are being considered to ensure the passage remains open for tanker traffic. The situation remains tense as the U.S. continues its military operations and Iran's potential threats to oil supply routes persist. Officials are closely monitoring the developments and are prepared to respond accordingly. The Food and Drug Administration has approved Leucovorin for a rare genetic condition. However, not for the broader autism population as previously suggested. The approval, announced on March 10, 2026 in Washington, D.C., is limited to patients with a specific genetic mutation affecting folate delivery to the brain, impacting fewer than 1 in a million people in the U.S. Leucovorin is a drug primarily used to reduce side effects from certain chemotherapy drugs and treat a rare blood disorder. It was initially touted by President Donald Trump and FDA Commissioner Marjorie in September 2025 as a promising treatment for a subset of autism patients. However, the FDA has since clarified that the drug's benefits are limited to those with the rare genetic disorder. FDA officials have also noted that one study supporting the drug's use for autism has been retracted, further undermining previous claims. The American Academy of Pediatrics does not recommend routine use of Leucovorin for children with autism, even those with cerebral folate deficiency, due to a lack of strong evidence. This development underscores the importance of rigorous scientific evaluation in approving medications, especially for complex conditions like autism. The FDA's decision emphasizes the need for more thorough research to support medical claims. Georgia voters are heading to the polls today in a special election to replace Marjorie Taylor Greene in the state's 14th congressional district. The election pits Republican Clay Fuller, who has the endorsement of President Donald Trump, against Colton Moore, another Republican candidate. Sean Harris, the Democratic contender. Voting takes place on March 10, 2026, with the winner set to serve out the remaining months of Greene's term, which ends in January 2027. Greene's resignation last year after conflicts with President Trump left a vacancy in the district that is heavily Republican. The upcoming election is expected to have implications for the political landscape in northwest Georgia, particularly as the winner will face a primary challenge for a full 2-year term in May, potentially leading to a runoff in June, a general election in November. With 12 Republicans, 3 Democrats, a Libertarian, and an independent candidate on the ballot, the race is shaping up to be competitive within the Republican Party. The primary and runoff elections will determine who will run in the November general election for a full term. As the polls close today, the focus will shift to determining the immediate successor to Greene and the broader implications for the political dynamics in the 14th district. The outcome could provide early indicators for the broader political trends ahead of the November elections. The remains of Army SG Benjamin N. Pennington, the 7th U.S. service member to die in the Iran War, were brought back to the United States for a dignified transfer ceremony at Dover Air Force Base in Delaware on Monday evening. S.J. Pennington, 26, of Glendale, Kentucky, was stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado, and was assigned to the 1 Space Battalion, 6th Space Brigade of the U.S. Army Space and Missile Defense Command. He died Sunday following injuries sustained during an attack on Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia. Vice President J.D. Vance and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth joined military officials to honor S.J. Pennington during the solemn ceremony. The dignified transfer is a deeply ceremonial event that recognizes the sacrifice of fallen service members and involves high-level military and political figures. This marks the latest in a series of such transfers since the start of the Iran War. This highlights the ongoing conflict and its impact on U.S. military personnel stationed in the Middle East. Mississippi voters are heading to the polls today for crucial primary elections, with significant races for the U.S. Senate and House of Representatives. Republican Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith faces a primary challenge, while Democratic Representative Benny Thompson defends his seat in a competitive race. In the U.S. Senate race, Hyde-Smith, the incumbent, is running against physician and novelist Sarah Adlacka. Hyde-Smith has not faced a primary challenge since 2020 and has received about 54% of the vote in her previous general elections. Meanwhile, in the 2 congressional district, incumbent Representative Benny Thompson faces 2 primary challengers, including attorney Evan Turnage. Thompson, Mississippi's longest-serving member of Congress, has never faced a primary challenge as competitive as this one. The state's primary elections are taking place on Tuesday, March 10, 2026. The outcome could impact the general election dynamics for the U.S. Senate and House seats. While Mississippi's U.S. Senate seats have had relatively low turnover since 1989, all held by Republicans, the 2 congressional district includes about 40% of Mississippi's geography and 64% of the district population is black. This makes this race particularly significant. The results of these primary elections will not likely impact control of either chamber in the upcoming midterms, as Republicans currently hold slim majorities on Capitol Hill. However, the races are still closely watched by political observers and local communities, as votes continue to be counted. Officials will monitor the results closely to declare winners in the Democratic and Republican primaries for U.S. Senate and contested U.S. House primaries. Iran escalated its attacks on Israel and several Gulf countries on Tuesday, targeting residential areas, oil infrastructure, and military bases. The United States responded by warning of intensified military action inside Iran, aiming to dismantle its military and industrial capabilities. According to reports, Iran launched barrages of missiles and drones, while U.S. and allied forces prepared for more strikes. The conflict, which began on February 28, has seen Iran keep up pressure on the Middle East with military actions, economic pressures, and diplomatic rhetoric. Oil prices surged amid concerns over disruptions to energy supply through the Strait of Hormuz, with Brent crude reaching nearly $120 a barrel before falling back to around $90. At least 1,230 people have been killed in Iran, 397 in Lebanon, 11 in Israel, 7 U.S. service members since the conflict began. The situation remains tense, with both sides showing no immediate signs of backing down. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth warned that Tuesday would be the most intense day of strikes inside Iran. As the conflict continues, global markets and humanitarian concerns remain significant issues.